This is Carlos Montero from the field. Thank you for being with us. Argentina has 2 World Cup. France has 2 World Cup. But let's talk about Argentina. The first one was in 1978. The second was in 1986. That was a great World Cup. It was in Mexico. Argentina played Germany. But before, in the quarterfinal, Argentina played England. And that was a few years after the Falkland War. Diego Armando Maradona was the captain of that team, and he was really ready to beat the game. Remember that? Let's go to see about the highlight of that fantastic historic game.
That match had it all, the playfulness and the genius. It was in a World Cup no less than against England, barely 4 years after the painful Malvinas War. The feat was conceived in the intimacy of Club America's training camp.
That is when we began to understand that it was a moral obligation for us to win the World Championship, especially beating England. When I heard the English caps, I started to shout out to the boys in a fierce way. Those caps can stop us. We are going to bring them down with caps and everything. Come on, boys. Come on, we're going to win. Come on, we have got them.
In the 51st minute, Diego was faster than children and scored a goal known as the Hand of God, being one of the 2 that he scored and which are both remembered as the best goals of all time. Maradona had no doubt in acknowledging that the polemic goal had not been with his hand but with the hand of God. Despite the complaints of the English players, the referee validated the goal and Argentina hit first in the game. 4 minutes later, Maradona itself put on the 2-0 with a legendary goal known as the goal of the century to secure the 1986 FIFA World Cup.
When I scored the goal with my hand, as my teammates knew me, they all came to greet me. I told them to come here, please. Shot goal, please. I beg you. Shot goal.
In this World Cup, Qatar 2022, there were 3 teams representing CONCACAF: Canada, Mexico, and USA. Next World Cup in 4 years, Canada, Mexico, and USA are going to be the hosts, so they are going to play in the World Cup for being the host country, but CONCACAF would have another 3 places to get inside. Let's put that into context.
The FIFA World Cup, United States, Canada, Mexico in 2026 will have 16 stadiums divided between these 3 countries. United States will be 11 stadiums for it, in Mexico 3, and Canada 2. This way, Mexico will be the first country to host 3 different editions of the World Cup, 1970, 1986, and 2026. However, as these selections will be hosters, their seat could be already set. For that reason, other countries in the area would have the chance to assist in a World Cup. It's still unknown whether the host will take places in the World Cup in the CONCACAF zone. If this happens, other teams will have a chance. For example, in Costa Rica, Canada, El Salvador, Honduras, and Jamaica, teams that had sporadic participation would have real possibilities of attending again. On the other hand, we have other Caribbean teams such as Curaçao, Haiti, Panama, Trinidad and Tobago, San Kitts and Nevis, Antigua and Barbuda, Nicaragua, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, or even Cuba. The new format of 48 teams for the 2026 World Cup will also benefit these nations. The globalization of football is going in ascent through the years, and FIFA has been attentive to this situation to make football grow more and more in this area of the world. For the moment, the theme is not clear, but in the next months and years, FIFA will give more information about it. For the moment, do you imagine your football team in a World Cup?
2 types of balls that were used in Qatar 2022. One for the one they are going to play in the final and for the 3rd and 4th place, and one they play for the rest. But in the first World Cup in 1930, they used 2 balls in the final. Why? Because it was Argentina and Uruguay, and the 2 teams wanted to play with the ball made of leather of the country. One from Uruguay, the other one from Argentina. Sounds strange, but it's real. Look at the story.
In those days, there were no official ball. The balls were made of leather and were blown up at full throttle. It was difficult to find two identical balls, and each team was used to playing with a certain type of ball, which was not very spherical. The final between Uruguay and Argentina sparked controversy because while the local used one type of ball, the albiceleste were used to playing with another. One of them, the Super T, was made up of 12 segments in the shape of the letter T, while the other had the same number of rectangular segments. When they could not agree, FIFA established that half a match would be played with one ball and the other half with the other. The first half was played with the Argentine ball, which eventually allowed the albiceleste to take 2-1 lead. But in the second half, Uruguay used their ball and managed to turn the result around to finally win 4-2 and become the first world champions. It will never be known if the victory of the Celeste had to do with the ball they used in the second half or if it was the result of their physical and tactical superiority. This victory launched Uruguay to the top of the world. The South American team won its first stars and will repeat in another historical match, known as Maracanazo, in 1950 against Brazil in the mythical Maracanã Stadium.
Okay, let's do a short break, but remember you can follow us on social media, on Twitter, @From the Field. We keep you informed 24/7. We'll be right back. We are waiting for you.